Okay.
They came to congratulate me.
Yes. 49, 49,
49.
49, 50.
50!
Congratulations, Rebecca Pastors. You have achieved 50 countries. There's another one. There's the EU sign.
Yay!
Speech. That's all I got to say is a speech.
So now we've crossed from Poland to Slovakia. It is number 28 for Ben, number 18 for Cutie Pie here, and a life achievement for me, number 50. Ben says I have to give a speech, so thank you to my mom who taught me to travel, and to her parents who taught her to travel, without which none of us would be here right now at this very exciting moment. And hopefully we're gonna add a few more countries really fast here as we head south. So, I sat in the 40s for a really long time because we kept revisiting places. I'm really excited to be seeing some new countries.
You thank your grandparents and your parents, but would chopped liver over here? What the hell, you know? Without
See, this
all
is
of
the
my
problem
pushing.
with the acceptance speeches, is you always forget somebody.
You don't forget
Thank
your
you,
husband.
Lucy!
Yeah, cut the clip.
Thank you, Ben.
yeah.
Wait, so without
Sure.
all of your what were you gonna say you did to make it, to get us here?
All of my hard work to making this truck and vehicle and journey happen.
I thought that was notwithstanding that you already knew that.
Still, words mean a lot to me.
Thank you, baby, for making this happen
You're welcome.
with me.
Well, I guess this is a fitting time to share what we have historically called a vlog update, which essentially is just a real life update about what's happening with us. So last video that you watched was in Auschwitz, and after that I have a cousin that lives in Poland with his family, and they're south of Krakow, so we went and spent a week with them. It was a wonderful week. We got to play with the kids and get to know each other, and the love we felt from Paulina and Thomas's family, it just warms our heart. Probably wondering, like, why didn't you do any recording? Well, you know, as we'll call it, I mature or age in my video making processes, I'm less inclined to share every single moment of my life. And there are certain moments that are special enough, like time with family, that I feel, why have the distraction of the camera? I love you guys and I love sharing stories, but I think you can relate to being in the moment versus trying to record the moment. Another thing, Slovakia, we're not going to do you much justice, so I have to apologize.
You're probably also wondering, well, why aren't you going to do Slovakia justice? It is just purely timing in this instance. You cannot see everything and do everything that you want to do or that lies in your path. And the reality is that I have a really good friend, my old roommate from when I studied abroad during college. Her name is Birgit, and she was in our wedding, and she's come to Alaska to visit us. She is from Vienna, which is just a couple of hours train ride from Budapest, Hungary. So we agreed to meet in Budapest this weekend and have a good visit. And it's the first time in a really long time we've seen each other. We kept missing each other earlier on in our travels, and I'm really excited to go see her. But it kind of means that time is of the essence and we need to boogie our way south. So, Slovakia, we're sorry. We'll be back, no doubt, and we'll spend some more time here then.
Alright, so I'm also still a bit strung out and tense from something that happened today. Our DJI Pocket 2 camera has gone kaput. It is not reliable to use, and hence why this is all being filmed on an iPhone for the past couple videos. So we bought a new DJI Pocket 2 from a store called Media Market in Krakow. I'm guessing this camera sat on the shelf or in inventory for probably about 3 years because it is an old camera, and the battery was just completely exhausted. I plugged it in, and it just like the screen came on, went off, on, off. I couldn't even like set up the language or anything because it just flickered off that fast. So took it to Media Market to return it. Another one that was on our route today because Paulina called in advance to make sure that we could take care of it, and it was a nightmare. They stood their ground and said, you have to go through DJI, we cannot take this back. And I pleaded, like, I'm in a very unique situation. You sold me a product that is defective and essentially made your problem mine. We don't live here, we're traveling the world. I could just use a little compassion and understanding. I'm not a criminal. I even bought a new electric razor head because at their store today, because my last the head that's on the razor now, the foil got a hole in it, so it scratched the hell out of my neck. So I was a good customer. I'm not trying to cheat them out of anything, but they just stood their ground and they would not budge. I was left with no other option. And keep in mind, Media Market is like Circuit City, Best Buy, big company. So it wasn't like Hans's camera shop that he's going to have to deal with this. So they stood their ground, and I was left with no other option but to call the local police. And just so I could have somebody, maybe of some authority there, to go, hey, this really is not a right situation. He bought this camera 3 days ago, hasn't even been able to set it up yet, but literally 2.5 hours in that store bickering. And no, not bickering. I maintained my composure and I pleaded my case and all that, but 2.5 hours of our life lost. So I am still very strung from that, especially when we have a very long drive day. I would prefer to not get somewhere when it's dark, just for the sake of making life easier. So we're going to keep trucking down this road. We have the Hungarian border coming up in a little ways.
But the good news is you got the refund.
Yes, I guess I forgot to wrap up that story, that finally, after standing my ground, they gave us a refund in cash back for the camera, which I guess is better than we're going to credit your card, because if that transaction fails, then we're really up shit creek and trying to sort it out. So now we're flush with about 400 US dollars of Polish currency. So it's like 1,800. Is this złota? Yeah. So we're flush on Polish currency right now.
Driving to Hungary.
Yeah. In Slovakia. Yeah.
I would like to say that you did a wonderful job managing the situation. Like, you kept your cool, you were super polite always, and basically just like begging them, please help me. I have to find a solution for this today. And I think you did a great job.
Well, I think it helped that you came into the store after doing your thing in the truck and wondering what the heck has taken Ben so long. You came in and then the police arrived. Like, if you were in the truck and then you saw the police come to the store, like, oh shit, what did
he do?
Did he lose his temper? Oh God, I can't deal with this. Like, the anxiety level would have gone through the roof on you. But no, I called the police.
And they were really nice,
They
very
were.
helpful young men.
Yes.
And
They knew the situation was not right.
yeah,
Just having somebody there with a little bit of outside authority swayed the
and they
situation.
didn't have to say or do much.
Nope.
They mostly just sat there, and then the manager of the store decided he was going to make it right.
Yep. But they could have made it right in 10 minutes and we would have been on our way instead of all this bickering. So let's head to Hungary.
I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes, And they say if you wanna glimpse the future, you need space. And you said you'll put down your morning guns. Would you follow me to wonders? Take my hand and walk beside me in a world of thunder. Fear is an imposter. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in.
Woo!
Goodness,
Just
that
caught
was
it.
close. I almost missed my 29th country.
Welcome to Hungary, my lord.
Yes. And I am starting to get a little hungry after all the events of the day.
You finally relaxed and you can eat now?
But we're still pushing the clock to try to get to our destination within Hungary before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Lucy, 19 countries, baby.
You just slept right through
Yeah.
it, Nugget. Almost 3 years old and 19 countries. You're gonna have more than that by the
There
time
it
you
is,
actually
there it
turn 3. Oh,
There it
here we
is.
go. Hungry, 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 hungry. Yay. We made it.
Not sure what that beamer's doing.
Let's stay out of his way. Oh, there's a toll, and we bought our vignette, so we're okay on that.
All right.
Okay.
Making progress.
So you probably heard me mention that we purchased our vignette for Hungary. We also did one for Slovakia, and a few days ago, the Czech Republic. It's a document that you purchase for the vehicle, not for us, but for Denny, and you pay a fee. And we're not 100% sure why countries charge for these vignettes, but we are under the impression that it is a form of toll to use the roads, because we find that if we pay vignette, then we don't see tolls on the roads. So we should Google it, but the internet's not working very well here, and we just thought we'd share some details about unique things that you deal with over here. It's something that was new to us when we arrived in Europe.
Well, here's a dose of reality. We've been in Budapest 4 days, and this is my first trip into the city. It's the end of October, and I really fell behind on all my work hours, and I just could not come and allow myself to have fun until I fulfilled my goals for working for the month. And I'm not talking necessarily YouTube. I'm talking about the stuff that actually pays bills, because as everybody knows, very few people are those giant famous YouTubers that can live completely off of it. So that's your dose of real life.
So we're starting Ben's first trip into Budapest at 26, a beautiful, it's indoor but feels like outdoor restaurant in the middle of the city, recommended by a friend of a friend. And so far it is definitely everything it promised to be.
We have Birgit over here, but we're going to
She's
give
a little
Birgit
camera shy.
the privacy of not being on camera. So you may hear her voice.
Yes,
But this is Birgit's view from the table right now. Well, this is not a traditional Hungarian restaurant. It's just a really hip, cool cafe. But they had a dish that I'd never seen before called shashuka. And it's like an Israeli dish or something. Cool. I am up for giving that a shot. And then Rebecca ordered plain old avocado toast.
And a green smoothie.
Oh, and a green smoothie.
Okay, here we go.
Good.
So good.
This looks good. It's like a skillet scramble thing, but with whole eggs on top. It's good. I've never tasted anything like it before. Needs a little salt and pepper, but it's really good. Cheers.
Cheers.
To alcohol before noon.
Mango Bellini. Oh, it's so good.
I think there's alcohol in these Bellinis. Well, I'm personally feeling a little warm.
You feel a little.
And you're
I'm
starting to
feeling
cry.
a little. The happy tears are coming. No,
Oh, those happy tears.
I was just telling Ben It's been years since Birgit and I have seen one another, and it's okay. Thank you. And we just pick up right where we left off. You know how you have people in your life where there's never an awkward silence and you just have so much to say to each other, you just never shut up.
And Birgit went to the bathroom right now, so that's why we're talking.
I was
like
telling
that.
Ben,
it's
like,
not like
I need to make sure
Birgit
I
is
see
sitting right there and
more
you're
often.
talking.
Yeah, it's special to have. It's unusual. You only meet a handful of people in life where you connect, and it's so crazy how she and I met, that we were roommates in a country neither of us were from almost 20 years ago now, which ages me. And but apparently mango bellinis do the same thing that tequila does.
After breakfast, we enjoyed a boat tour on the Danube. The architecture of these old world cities is beyond impressive, making it worth tolerating all the humans trying to get their Instagrams. I've really been impressed by all the navigable rivers in Europe and clearly can see why civilization has flourished on this continent. I've also been thinking a lot about how much fun it would be to explore them in a houseboat. Well, that's a wrap for our time in Budapest. Well, good morning from a campground at a thermal pool, aka hot springs resort, about 60 miles south of Budapest. We didn't really close out the video in Budapest, so also we didn't get any pictures or footage of the campsite we were staying at as well. So
Nope.
We'll give it to you with the place we are at now, so you can just check out the local campground scene. How's the guard dog doing today? Protecting her castle? Huh? Lucci's such a good puppy. It's a beautiful day.
It is a gorgeous sunny day, which we needed because, as you can see, it is laundry and shower day here at the Pazdurnik house. Facilities.
Which means Mr. and Mrs. October in Polish, we learned.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Reggie Jackson, but I've been Mr. October my entire life.
So the whole time we were in Poland, we kept seeing a very similar version of Pazdurnik, but it means October in Polish. Now we know what our last
Even
name
though it's
means.
not my real last name. My real last name should be Steinlicht, but that's messy
That's
family
another
history.
story.
Yes. Laundry day. Look how creative
Yes.
we got.
Yep,
Yeah, this little device we had shipped to Fabian and Isabella's from Amazon, and it's gonna provide us plenty of extra space because when it's the day to wash sheets and towels, you need to get very, very creative.
Amazon special for travel. So all of your hangers fit in this tiny little bag. Definitely recommend them.
We have to get very, very creative. Like towels are hanging off of the side box hooks, undergarments over here. It is just real life, but somebody has a new duvet cover.
We
Yeah,
do.
well,
Bought a crappy one in the States that broke once we got here. Paulina's mom, Doretta, when we were in Poland, she used to live in Ireland, which FYI is beautiful duvet cover capital of the world. Plan to take some home when you go there. Anyway, I couldn't find
just hold it up then.
a king
There we go.
size duvet. Doretta happened to have one in her supply cabinet and very graciously gave it to us. And I'm washing it today so we can put a fresh, clean duvet that isn't faded out and torn on one side, which we've put up with since 2021 when we shipped the truck to Europe.
Well, the facilities here are very nice, and let me go show you around real quick.
Bye.
Let's get started with a little tour of our campsite. And I know in England, the whole campground is called the campsite, and the actual place you're in is called the pitch, but this is a campsite to us, and let's show you around. Starlink is rocking a beautiful view of the northern sky up there. As you can see, we have the clotheslines. Over here is the power station, and this is your regular European outlet, not the RV park outlet, but this is my first time seeing a 400 volt one. So we're not prepared for that. Hopefully we don't see too many of those. That hole right there is where you dump your cassette toilet. Every campsite has one. And then right over here, there's a hole for, let's see if I can open it up. This is where you fill up your water. There's a water spigot in there, and Europe is big time into the whole quick release garden hoses. And I have to say, I kind of like it. They're not as heavy duty as what we traditionally use in the States, but is very, very convenient, and you're gonna have to get one of the quick release hoses when you get here. There's only 4 campers in the park here right now, but these sites are great. And I have no idea if this is a communal area or a group site, but there's a fire pit and just nice and level, well manicured. Very much one of the best campsites we have seen in our entire time here in Europe. Over here are all the facilities for the campground, and Liggett ABC is a little convenience store located here on the grounds. It's a little cafe type of seating, but it's closed. Today is All Saints Day. That would be my guess why it's not open. I hope nobody's in here. There is the ladies, and here is the men's bathroom. Very, very clean. Campground bathrooms are not disgusting here like a lot of the ones you see in the States. And I have to say, I like it. It's very, very refreshing. Here's the shower room. Looks like there's probably a larger handicap stall, 3 regular stalls, the obligatory squeegee, because it is polite to squeegee the floor when you're done showering. Back outside, moving on down the wall, you have a bunch of trash cans, and you can actually wheel one of these trash cans directly to your site, so you do not have to go far. Gated entry, both directions. There's the office where you register. And I think this campsite, bear in mind, it's at pretty much a resort, because there's a restaurant over there and the hot springs. It's 35 euro a night. See, here we have a kitchen. Very big thing to use common kitchen areas to wash your dishes and cook. It's a completely different camping lifestyle here compared to what we're used to in the States. Because most people, let's face it, they just cook in their own campers in the States and they shower in their own campers. But it's not a thing here. Moving on down, I hear the laundry machine. Here's the rest of our laundry. Is there a clock? And it's not in the language I understand, but it says 30, who knows? But just another nice area to get things done. Oh, hey, that one might be done. I think I should help out with laundry. Well, I take back singing my praises about that clothes drying rack. On a calm day, I'm sure it would be fine, but on a breezy day, it tips over like none other. So I've hence had to tie some of our cord here, and hopefully it stays up, but it could totally be resolved by putting little feet. Well, see, that's already kind of cattywampus. That's better. But little holes in the feet, like you could put tent stakes through. Okay, I guess the playground is not open at this time, but there's some sports courts, some exercise equipment, and playground stuff. On to the hot spring. Well, this is a continuation of the playground area. There's all kinds of pools over there, but it's definitely, I don't want to use the word mothballed for the winter, but they've definitely wrapped things up for the season, I think.
Yeah, I think we're here in the off season, as they would say.
These grounds are absolutely beautiful. I'm guessing that has to be some type of a hotel or convention center, banquet hall thing.
Looks like a castle.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. And then here we have the entrance to the springs. We are approaching the outdoor pool, but I'm going to be very courteous of all the guests and just not show too many people into their swimsuits. So this is it. Wow, it's crowded. Look, it out loses focus.
Maybe it's because it's darker.
Loses focus. This could be a iOS thing too.
It could be.
It's open. Hello.
After the hot springs, we decided to have dinner out this evening, and luckily there's a restaurant here on the premise. Normally I think it's a buffet, but this evening it looks like you order from the menu.
And the menu will require the use of Google Translate. But welcome to our life. And you know what? I actually do not mind, because we just try new things and we really take in the entire menu. First dish is out, and it is a chicken soup with fresh local vegetables. And we've already tried it, right? So we know it tastes good.
It tastes
we
good.
don't need to lie. But then they got some hot sauce. And there is actually some spice to this stuff.
It's pretty tasty.
I'm not sure where it came from, but I like it because we're entering parts of the world with a little more variety of flavors. Nothing wrong with potatoes, sausage, sauerkraut, and stuff like that, but it is nice to get into a little more exotic flavors. Dinner has arrived, and I ordered the crispy duck leg with rice, and that is a mixed salad. And this is a spicy pork chop.
All right, I'm gonna start off with a bite of the spicy pork chop. Not as spicy as your paprika, but very flavorful.
This is the crispy duck leg. Not too bad. You never know with duck, because there's the old adage of how do you cook a duck at home? Well, you throw it on the oven with a sheet of wood, like a cedar plank, and then when it's done, you throw the duck away and eat the wood. That's one of the common jokes, but now this is spectacular. Dinner was good, but since we are in Europe, that means you have coffee at night. Cappuccino time.
Honestly, I am ruined for American coffee after living here off and on these past few years. It's so good here. We just can't hold a candle to it in the States.
Well, I'm closing out my meal with a double chocolate Magnum and a cappuccino as well. Magnums are great. You can find them all around the world. Thank you for joining us on this totally odd video that started off in Poland, went through Slovakia, into Budapest, and now we're a little bit in the outskirts of Budapest in Hungary. Going to start our push into the non-Schengen countries soon. It was all over the place, but we thank you for watching and riding along with us. There's more coming. We did, how should I say this? We have so many options as to which direction we can go sometimes, because really, truly, anything is possible. Yes, we're working with the Schengen clock, but it's just like you just get so overwhelmed. There's like so many possibilities. Where do I go? What do I do? So we coined a word for it, and we're calling it overlanded. A little bit of a play on words like overloaded, overwhelmed. Outliers overland as well. But so yeah, we are very overlanded as to where to head next. But we're going somewhere. We have to. Thanks for riding along.